Hey, what's up, y'all? My name is Ty Mizzle. You're watching my channel, Mizzle14, and I'm here doing a review of Iyanla DNA Dysfunction Part 2. Alright, so it's a continuation from the first part of last week where the father dropped the bomb. They don't think the twins is his, and they took a DNA test. They took the swab and everything, and they had to wait 48, I think 24 hours before they get the results. So they will continue on the talk. So she brought the boys down for a cup of pain, which was a good analogy. It was a good thing to talk about. She said that everyone have a cup of pain, and a cup of pain is your sense of self and your identity of who you are, and what you put inside the cup is what makes up the person who you are, who's the cup. So it could be clean, it could be dirty, but everyone has it. But right now it's a cup of pain, so that means whatever the pain you bring inside, it fills your cup up and it brings up the dirt that is coming, pouring out your skin, which is the pain that you have been experiencing. And that pain leads you to do different things, make bad decisions, be hurt other people, cry, hurt yourself, whatever you gotta do based on your pain is what you put in. So she made an analogy as the pepper. The pepper is the freaking disruption of the childhood. Their childhood has not been great. It's been very destructive from the beginning. They was born out of a crack mother, so they become crack babies. They had to been taken away from them, and they gotta be raised by their aunt. So their childhood was really not as child. Most of when you were a child, you won't think about having fun, playing with your kids, nothing think about the life issues, just being a kid. But since being a kid leads with you watching your mother making heroin and shooting heroin right in front of you, being abandoned by the father, how we have to live and defend for yourselves. That's not a good childhood. That's a regularly unhealthy childhood for anyone going through. Dirt is the denied the presence of their father. Their father that hasn't been there. So the fact that they was not given the opportunity for their father to be in their life is where the dirt come in, because that's where all the dirt come is just bringing in the dirt within the cup that they don't have the presence of the father. So that's really a sense of like, okay, all these kids have fathers who live up to, and I don't have nobody that I could go to who will come, who are not around, who could show me things, who could tell me things, who could teach me things. I didn't have none of that. So that's really dirt very inside you that you're never gonna get away, because you just don't feel that why you who was there, why was I enough for you to be around. In the schools, it's the sadness they carrying out of the beat of their hearts. The sadness that is carrying is burning heavy. The screws that is in there that is like so heavy that is they are sad of not having a father. They are sad that they wasn't thought of. They were sad that nobody took give them a chance to raise them. Nobody step up to be there. So all that is pouring in, and started overflowing and stuff that it has been brought upon you on top of your father cup of pain. Y'all don't even know his cup of pain. So what if y'all need to sit down and learn his cup of pain, that will understand why he did the things that he did. So she asked him what brought them there. So she gave him homework assignment and asked him what brought them here. What do you need to get out of it? So Cornelius, who's the oldest, well, there's two twins, they're both the same age, but Cornelius is considered the oldest because he was born first, it's like that. So he said what brought him there is that he just want to have a connection to his father and have his father have a connection to his son. And he said, but he don't want to have that until he get the results. So he helping him around. It's like, if he's not my father, then there's nothing else we need to talk about. There's nowhere we could say anything. He's not my father. There's no connection being built. And he was going throughout that episode. Which I understand from. I understand Cornelius in a sense. Because what's the point of you going through all this if he's not my father? So I don't need to go through this. He was never in my life for all this 20 plus years, but now he's trying to come back, and then there's a possibility that he's not my father. And if he's not, ain't no sense to be working on it because I don't really want to have that. I want to know who my real father is, or not even his father. I just want to know if he is saying he questioned the father, questioned the paternity, why he went along this long ass time and not say anything, why he had this in his head and not come forth and had this handle or do anything about that if he had this doubt in his mind that his twins is his. So it's really crazy to sit here and try to make a connection with the guy who banned us with his possibility of not being my father. So I understand Cornelius. I really do understand him. But what Iyanla trying to get him to understand is that it's not about too much about what if he's a father, because what if it is your father, what else to do? But what if it's not? What else that you need to work on? Because at the end of the day, it's not so much about the father connection, it's about what you need to work on to heal so you could be better yourself and come over and heal the process. Because at the end of the day, what if he don't have anything other to say? He's a drug addict. So if that's his explanation and he don't have nothing else to say, then, or explain just as the drug addict, then that's the explanation you need to be given, and whether or you will accept that or not. That's the question. So, oh, sorry, y'all. So, but and y'all realize that Cornelius haven't put down his anger, which has been a prevalent issue that he keep bringing up, and we could tell that he has anger issues because he did tell us last week he does be angry. He do be angry, and that anger will cause him getting divorced because it's very hard for him to express his feelings. So it's better avoid for him to express his feelings and get to the point where he had to show feelings, he resorts to anger. And that's his go-to thing because he has been angry because he's been abandoned throughout his life. So why now show up all this time and trying to build a connection with me if you abandon me? So, but then he said, no, I'm kind of angry, I'm good and all that stuff like that. But Iyanla said you in denial. You're denying the anger, and that's part of you. So you need to address that, because if you're not addressing that, it will seep in through your future lives. And right now, it is affecting your divorce. Well, it will then lead to affect your son that you have. So you need to get that handled. So denying that you're angry is not going to help your cause, whether this guy's your father or not. You need to get a handle of that. So that's what Iyanla trying to get him to understand. That yes, we here for you to heal, but yes, to build a connection, but it's you for heal. So you need to heal what you need to have done, and what you need to have done is to work on that anger issues that you need to really cut down on and nurture it to the point that you need to diminish that so you can build your healthy self. Basically, that diminish that anger, decrease that anger, and fill the anger with joy, happiness, not too much sadness and angriness. Alright, so, and then Cornel talk about he's mad at his anger about his childhood because he had to go through all his stuff that he went through because his father abandoned his mom, died, and drug heroin addiction. So it was like a lot to build and like to have, and as a child to feel that my father's not there. So it's always a burning question of why, and that's the issue. So Nigel said that he was upset that he had separation of his brothers because when he was born, it's like that. The state took them and put it with their aunt. So he haven't been really raised with much of his brothers. He was with his mother, and his mother, throughout the time, he has been watching and witnessing her doing the drugs. So it just affected him in a way that, yes, I was sitting with mother with doing the drugs, and your father, you was very close by, and you never once came and be there. At least she, even with her drug addiction, he said, she still was there to make that for me and do what she had to do for me. But you was right there and you didn't do anything. So But Iyanla wants to get to understand, no matter what we do, we need to have a common ground so you have a foundation y'all can work on. And whatever the truth reveals will not change the fact of you'll be abandoned, the emotions you have, the feelings you have, no matter what, whether he's your father or not. And that's what you're trying to understand, that don't rely so much on the results, because the results cannot really remedy the problems you have, your cup of pain. So, alright, so next we talk about Neil. So she sat down with Neil, cause after she talked to the boys and tell them bring their cup of pain to the next session, they had to sit down with Neil. So now we get to hear his story of why he abandoned it. Because at the end of the day, the boys gonna be coming at you with questions, and you need to be ready and be strong enough. But they can't go through and you can't heal if you haven't been truthful for your own pain. What caused you to be so easily persuaded to get on drugs? What caused you to choose drugs over everything? What leads you to the point where you had to do these things? So it had to be something in what you went through that caused you to spiral other events, domino effect of events. So he did say, the part that he was there for is that he was doubting his paternity. That's what one pain that he has gone through, and something that is heavy burden on him, that he doubted the paternity of his twins, which it does look like him. So he got curious, because he said what got him into the drugs. That he said he got curious one day because he met his the mother of their children, mother of his children, when he was like 20 something years old. And he was with her. She was already prime in her thing, 8 years or something, prime into her drug usage. So one day he just got curious, and she just gave him some, and then shooting heroin in up his arm. And since then he has been really hooked, basically, and that took his life. Since then he been taking his life. I think he said it's been like 30 years he's been with this, struggling with this drug abuse. Now he just now starting trying to get sober and clean, which I think he has been sober and clean for a while. But yes, he just, that time, it was a lot for him to go through, and that drug addiction kicked his butt throughout his life. All right, so then we get to understand more of his backstory. So basically, we find out that he was touched inappropriately when he was young. It was very incest in his family. I said, oh shit. I mean, I'm not surprised, because at the end of the day, it does happen more than we know, because a lot of people don't talk about it. They keep it hush hush, especially within the family. And it sucks to say, especially within the black African American family, because a lot of them does the experience, go through incest, sexual abuse, abusing their own children, and stuff like that, and nobody say anything. They keep it a hush. They say what happened in the family, it stayed in the family, because they feel embarrassment, they feel of the guilt, they feel of being judged, just like that. So they rather keep it in the family, and then go through life holding it so secret, and then once you go to your dying bed, you want to start confessing and say you regret this, that this happened, and hold on to this thing, all that stuff. Or you keep it to your grave, or you die in your grave, and then that secret can be buried. And then the person who got been affected is going through life, going through a lot of emotional issues, emotional damage, going through making bad decisions, because their innocence got taken away. And when you're a child, have your innocence taken away from you, you just lost your whole youthfulness. So it's like, it's tough to gain it back, to gain that self-worth, when you have been taken away advantage of when you're a child, and you're powerless for anything to happen. So since then, he said he had been in the streets since he was 10 years old, and then around from when he was 15, he started drinking, and that's what he used to cover the pain that he had been going through, because the parents never even talk about it. So now he just comes to the point that he has more release, that he is just now talking about it, and he's talking about it more. So as that way, it will weigh on him so much, but he didn't know how to express this to his sons. He didn't know how to say it. He didn't know what to say. So he kept this in and kept on speaking to himself until he couldn't take it anymore, where he had to speak his truth, what is hurting him, and how that led him to sequence of events that it led him to drugs and being addicted to drugs. So she said, what about the woman that you was looking for that caused you to gravitate her so quickly and made you be with her? He said he made her feel special. She made him feel special, which I understand exactly. I said, okay, so that's the reason why. You felt you felt good for being with her because you felt you need that acceptance. You need that somebody who see you, who wants you, who genuinely have affection for you. So since the woman did have, and she make you feel special, that you went along with everything she did, and even though it would cause you pain in the future, or lead you to the path of getting addicted and all that craziness, so he went along. Alright, so now we finally get to meet his sons. After a long wait, he finally get to meet his sons. And they sit down and they was talking. Cornelius right off the bat, he said he's not here with that. He said he wants the results. He don't want to do any talking until we get the result, because he said it's no sense of me sitting here if he is not my father. So they asked a question. So Cornelius asked how. He said, what made you question paternity? What's up? What's the deal about that? He said when he was incarcerated, your mom was having an affair with one of his friends of his. His friend is dead, but as y'all going older, I see y'all looking more into him. Y'all acting like more like him. Y'all talk fast. And he talked like that, and he's Jamaican. So Cornelius started laughing. He said, really? That's bullshit, Jamaican. I said the same thing. I said, okay, they talk fast. It's not an indicator that it will be his child. Your friend children. It's like, what other ways do we give you the reason why? Because yes, the mother has been turning tricks to get money for her drug use, so it could be a possibility. But at the same time, you hold on to this possibility for all this long time and you never say anything. So that's explaining that. So I said I didn't really care for that explanation about, okay, why he thinks his friend is there. His friend could be the possibility of his being there, his twin's father. Alright, so basically then they talk to Nigel about his thing, and Mr. Neal said he has been reaching out to Nigel and say that it's been hard to communicate with him because I understand all that stuff, and it's difficult talking to him because he always gonna push me away, or he get angry, I get attitude, I get pushback, so it's hard to come to him. So Nigel said, listen, you know you're lying, Satan has been lying, you have never really contact me like that and everything. You have my number. Did you call me after you called the twins about it? He said no. So that's exactly, it's a communication barrier. It's communications. Basically, it's communication issues between the father and Nigel, and how they couldn't come common ground of communicating with each other, because they was going back and forth, they was arguing, and it's like it was nothing going to ever get done. So it was like, let that be and just move on. But y'all need to understand that how you communicate is affecting everything, so y'all have to change that. Alright, so they was asking him more about his stuff. He said he just understand that it's addiction and just controlling him. And so they was asking him how, if he knows, and I was telling her, like, the woman that raised y'all, knows y'all, had y'all, is not the woman that he knows. So he knows the woman that he had been with compared to the woman that is mothering y'all, and y'all probably don't know. It's probably two different persons. So he said, if that's the case, why you didn't come to the funeral? Why you was not there if she was so special or so close to you? He just said the drugs. And she was trying to tell him that the drugs have no timetable. They don't keep appointments when you're a drug addict. Time escapes you when you're a drug addict. So, although he probably could have been there, but he didn't because the drugs won. at the end of the day. And he's not proud of it. So from there, that's what he's explaining about all of his backstory. Because now they wanted to understand. So what's his backstory? You need to tell us. And he explained to them about all his backstory, which I did earlier in this video. And Mr. Cornelius, he was not having it. He said, "No, bro, I understand this, bull, all crazy. This is all what's going on happen to you. But what's the point had to do with this if we don't know any results? I need the results." So he was angry. He said, "No, I'm good and all that stuff. It's crazy that we going to sit here and he's not being the possibility of the father. Why you hold on to this all this last time if you never going to say anything? If you didn't say anything, if you had this doubt in your mind, you going to do it. So I'm not here to sit here trying to kiki kakaing with somebody who may not be possibly my father. So give me the results. So I don't care about that. All this is bull crap. I don't care about no fake cup of tea, cup of pain. I will knock this shit off. I will give whatever it is, because at the end of the day, why? If you're not my father, there's no building." So he was upset. So he's slouching, saying whatever. "I'm not angry. I'm good." He said, "You angry?" He said, "Yeah. Oh well, I don't have no anger. It won't affect anything I have. All that stuff. What's going on?" She said, "I think you need to rethink that." And I said, "Yes, Cornelius. Yeah, you definitely is angry." He said, "Oh yeah, I'm not an angry person. I only got angry because what they did last night just sprung on us, and now it just got me in my feelings and stuff." But I said, "Well, you angry. You mad. It's okay to have that. There's nothing wrong with that. It's okay to be angry for him abandoning you. But don't deny that you are angry, because it's coming across very easily. That's your go-to thing to do." So he said, "You know what? I'm basically done." He's done. So Iyanla said, "Look, done," because he said he's not angry and I'm good like that. She said, "I wonder why if your wife think about you was angry." He said, "Oh, we not talk about the wife. You look like I'll get upset, I'll get mad, everything. We all here for him." She said, "No, I'm here for you. I'm here for you." He said, "Now we not here for no, so I get up, I'm done." She said, "Okay, be done." So that's what Neil had a further communication and conversation with Nigel and Cornell, and they talked for a little bit, and he sat next to them, and he just poured his heart out. Because he did also mention that he has been diagnosed with clinical depression, so he didn't know how to talk to them. He didn't know how to express it until now and stuff. And now he realized that he should have been talking about it before because it was released. But he didn't know how and what to say because nobody was there. I mean, you've been touched by your family member and got your innocence taken away from you. You can't trust your family, so who do you trust? So that was that. So Iyanla went upstairs to talk to Cornelius, and basically we got to understand, we got to break down why he's so angry like that. He just said the feel of abandonment scares him. He feels scared because when he felt that hurt again and being abandoned, it make him feel weak, it make him feel powerless, and he don't like that feeling. So he also scared that he's becoming like his father. So he is like afraid of that. He afraid that if it's not his or stuff, it's gonna be damaging. And he don't like that abandonment because it's that now this guy has been abandoning us. Now he trying to build us back in alive, and it's a possibility if it's not it's us, if he's not our father, and if he's not our father, then that abandonment it will be happening again because he won't be coming around. Because now we need to know who really abandoned us. We had nobody if he wasn't our father. We see him and we think that's him, but it's like it's done. So that's his real thing that he issues. I said that's to get the bottom of it. That's where we see why you're angry. So he came back down and he told him that he's afraid to be like his father, and because he's got kids, and he said, what about he's having kids and not being there for his kids like his father hasn't been there for him? So that what scares him, and he has a right to be scared about that. So they sat down and they talked, and basically they read the results. The results are he is both the kids, the twins' father. I said, there's no doubt. And he was so happy. He said, oh, yes, I knew. I knew this is that good, it's good, all that stuff. And he happy. He been genuine, like he was so happy. And because he said he read it. He said, you my father. He said, what? Oh, good. And then he hugged his sons. He also hugged Cornelius, and basically saying, you know what? Mm. He said, you know what? No matter what, we can move on from there. I want to make the effort to be with your lives. Make sure if y'all need me, I'm here. I don't want to build a relationship. I want to build as a father for you and everything. And just as a man, build a relationship as a man. Now, Iyanla was asking, saying, "What you wish you to do? You have an opportunity to create the experience as being their father, not to father them, but to be their father." And that was that. I really enjoyed this episode. It was nice. It was a good conclusion. They said they, after since the filming, the father and the sons have an open, honest communication right now, and they got better. And they hope that Nigel get the help that he needs. So, if you're new to my channel, please like, comment, subscribe to my channel. Tell me what y'all think about it. Also, share my videos. I appreciate everyone who has been subscribed to my channel so far. I'm getting up there. I love doing these videos, and I'll see you next week. All right, peace.